Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Fly versus TBC-BM. TBC-BM spawning as the blue undead player over here on the top right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Fly has spawned as the red orc over here on the bottom left. Should be another great matchup. This is WGL 2020 Winter Pro Division. And these pro matchups, pro games being played at the highest level, some interesting strategies, and just trying to find ways to counteract them. What is going to go down here? We are getting up a barracks. A barracks coming in from the orc, so we should be looking at that single grunt, perhaps a blade master or farseer with a single grunt sitting at 20 supply before teching to tier 2. Meanwhile, Necropolis, Ultra of Darkness, Ziggurat coming into play on the opposite end of the map. Both sides, well, still have yet to choose their heroes as this game just now gets started. Ultra of Darkness should be ready here in just a moment. Ultra of Storms will be ready here. Orc Burrow is going to be ready. And we are looking at a Farseer coming in from Fly. Is it going to be a Death Knight? Yes, Farseer versus Death Knight in this matchup. And I am really looking forward to this particular game here. Well, Fly versus TBC-BM with a lot on the line. And, well, we'll see. Really, what it is that WGL games really see the definition of the meta. Whenever I cast NetEase games or I cast smaller tournament games, players are often still trying to experiment with different strategies. It isn't what the best of the best thinks is going to work. They're just trying to, figure out things and still trying to experiment. Once you get onto these higher level stages and more important matches, you know that we're going to see the much more of the tried and true strategies. And WGL has constantly been, and games from the WGL have constantly been redefining the match overall as an Acolyte, trying to get away. Is it actually going to, yep, gets taken down. Farseer does not get the experience. Spirit Wolf gets taken down right there. So a little bit of delay with that Acolyte as the Death Knight now comes out with some skeletal minions. I always feel sorry for that early Acolyte coming out from the undead. The early Acolyte, like, oh, am I gonna go ahead and mine some gold from that gold mine right over there? Like, no. I want you to just walk out across the map and go towards your opponent's base. It was like, who, me? It's like, yes, you. Like, but I don't attack well. I move very slowly. No, it's important. And, well, the Acolyte, living up, serving his army, getting taken down always. All right, skeletal minions finishing off a sheep right there. More skeletal minions popping up out of the ground. Spirit Wolf, 4 skeletal minions. They do deal good amounts of damage. 14 to 15 damage there as a death coil goes down onto that grunt. Grunt very low on a hit point. Scroll of speed to try and get away. Are we going to see a little bit of damage? There's a death coil to try and stop any more of that heal. Death Knight may be actually able to dive on inside and just get another death coil for that bit of damage. There it goes as we now see a blockage inside the base. Death Knight is stuck inside here. The War Mill blocking that position. Spirit Wolves trying to fight back, and all of a sudden the Death Knight, has he overcommitted into this battle here? As the skeletal minions are trying to push on through and get on in some damage as well. Death Knight, where is he going to perhaps travel off to? He's going to try and get away. There's some Spirit Wolves right there. Death Knight going to try and double back around. Is he going to be able to make his way free? No, he is not. He's not going to be able to break out of that corner at all, as this Death Knight ventured in to give a long distance death coil, ends up being forced to burn his Scroll of Town portal. Farseer now retreating back out. Death Knight opting to think that it was better for him to use that Scroll of Town portal and then just start creeping as well, doing that calculation, saying, you know what, I need this time to get experience onto my Death Knight rather than trying to resurrect it. Losing that precious time early on, just still too costly. Crypt Fiend, skeletal minions are out onto the field. Rogue is going to end up getting taken down. Looks like the Death Knight will get to level 2 as this last Rogue will get finished off here. Circuit of Nobility dropped. Nice, powerful item for that Death Knight as the Farseer is still sitting at level 1. All right, new resummoning of the Spirit Wolves. Kobold Taskmaster going after the Grunt a little bit too much as the Farseer should be able to get to level 2 here, I believe. So he had to have killed some skeletal minions earlier. There it goes. Yes, Farseer picks up Gloves of Haste, has the healing salve, and is ready to move on out. Death Knight sitting at level 2. Going to go ahead and clear out this 5-3-3 creep camp as well. However, going to try and back away, perhaps do a little bit of stealing. Death Knight lying in wait, going to head around the corner, and now surprise, it is right there. Farseer going to try and engage Death Knight, taking a little bit of damage. Spirit Wolves, Force Troll, Berserkers. Death Knight is wandering around, does have Unholy Aura, so does move around rather quickly as we see another Ensnare go down as well. No skeletal minions inside here to try and do that long distance death coil for the steal, as the Farseer will pick up some intelligence items and tomes. Death Knight backing around here. We're looking at this last Kobold Tunneler. Ring of Protection +3 has been dropped right there. Kobold Tunneler will get taken out as well. Farseer, Grunts making their way down. Death Knight wandering back across over here to the left-hand side of the map at the 3 o'clock position is... Wow, this is actually a relatively difficult creep camp to clear with those with the Renegade Wizards and these Enforcers. You don't normally believe it, but these Enforcers are actually level 5 units, or level 5 creeps does add up to be a fairly large amount of damage. Now that Farseer, if it's not careful, could absorb way too much damage indeed, already down to 107 hit points. And are we going to get the Lich perhaps come in from the north or catch a little bit of damage here? Farseer is sitting at level 2 and was down to 40 hit points, ends up surviving. Lich, is it going to attack here? Oh, could have just attacked the Farseer. There's that Frost Nova, and a little bit of damage. Healing Salve is not going to be available. Farseer trying to dip back away. They're forcing his opponent to burn a Scroll of Town Portal as well. Scroll of Town Portal burned. Death Knight may be trying to come across. Is it going to be able to get a Death Coil onto the Farseer? Yes, it does. Even with the Healing Salve, not enough, as the Death Knight intercepts the trip home and is able to get in some major damage. There is another Death Coil. Frost Nova finishing off another Grunt. And wow, TBC BM playing an amazing game here against Fly, putting Fly on the back foot. Death Knight making its way back off to the north here. Lich still low on mana. We should be looking at some Obsidian statues getting trained up here in just a moment. It looked like during that time TBCBM forgot to build some Ziggurats, currently supply blocked at 30/30 supply. Lich will be able to get to level 2. It looks as though the Farseer is not yet back out onto the battlefield. Should be there. Well, nope, actually quite a bit delayed there, as we are looking at, well, going into double Raiders. Double Bestiary Raiders. Lich gets a little bit of a heal. We're going to finish off the remainder of this creep camp here, sitting at 33/40 supply. And, well, being supply blocked for that long, actually a bit of a delay here, as we are at tier 3, and the Lich does have that Orb of Corruption. Orb of Corruption, such a powerful, important item in this matchup. Ensnares could cause problems. Have to be careful how you fight. Does Undead have any way to heal on the first minutes of the game? Yes, they have that Ritualistic Dagger, which, and the Death Knight's Death Coil, also Essence of Blight, the Sacrificial Skull. While you are on Blight, you have 200% regeneration, which is rather fast. If anyone's tried to kill an Acolyte with a Footman while on Blight, you just cannot do it. Death Knight gonna go ahead and engage back here. There's a boulder, well, landing nowhere near the Death Knight, but still getting in a nice stun as we're fighting the remainder of this creep camp here. Lich is sitting at level 2. Death Knight is sitting at level 3. What big heals could be coming down onto that Lich as well. Obsidian statue, however, making up most of that difference right there. Back down to the south, Tauren Chieftain is at level 3, and, well, getting level 2 Stomp is also going to be incredibly important, as the Tauren Chieftain also has Devotion Aura, giving major damage reduction across the majority of that army here. 15% damage reduction, going to keep many of those units alive, and, well, Death Knight, Lich ready to, well, retreat on back. What are we looking at? Farseer. Farseer getting ready. Well, Farseer looking to try and clear up some creep camps. Death Knight is at level 4. Level 4, level 2 going up against level 3, level 3. Aria, turn on the TV a little. Alright. Interestingly enough, we're actually looking at Fly going into a couple of Wind Riders in this matchup. Wind Riders, normally a little bit of a glass cannon, especially considering that Crypt Fiends will web them down and then force an engagement. There goes a Death Coil Frost Nova onto the Farseer. Farseer already using a Scroll of Speed in order to get away. Lich able to push the Farseer all the way back. However, that Tauren Chieftain is still in that front line spot. There goes a major Frost Nova taking down a Raider right there. Ensnare onto that Death Knight. Death Knight, however, backed up by that Crypt Lord with a quick Impale right there. Death Knight could be in trouble, down to 180 hit points and dropping really slow quickly. And now all of a sudden the Death Knight using a Scroll of Town Portal. There goes an Impale trying to finish off some more units, unable to do exactly that. Tauren Chieftain low on mana. Farseer down to 300 hit points, but both sides walking away from that battle, taking and losing a lot of units and hit points in that fight there. Could have gone either way. Level 3 compared to 4-2-1, but it may come down to if the Crypt Lord gets to level 3, and if the Crypt Lord gets to level 3, whether or not those Impales are effective. Going after the remainder of this, Renegade Wizard creep camp, only the Enforcers are left. They will get cleared up here in just a second. Double Obsidian Statues healing up units. I don't see any Destroyers as of yet. We are getting up a third Obsidian Statue here, so we should be getting into some sort of boulder onto the Lich right there, as the Granite Golem and Rock Golems are making their way over. All right, almost negative armor, a little bit of damage coming across here, and you see what is essentially a thunderclap by those Golems there. A lot of damage being absorbed, and TBCBM may be biting off more than he can chew right now, taking in a lot of damage. That Crypt Lord is trying to stay alive and well here. However, it is just not going all that well. Double Obsidian Statues, and this is a very heavy investment. Lich does get up to level 3, and it looks as though Fly is going to go ahead and clear out the opposite side creep camp too. Granite Golem getting taken down. Rock Golems are available. Raiders going to go ahead and finish off the remainder of the Rock Golems here. It may come down to item drops. A Helm of Valor. A nice, useful item once more for the Tauren Chieftain, adding in additional hit points and agility. A little bit of attack damage as well, making him that much more difficult to take out. He has plus 10 additional strength with 1,200 hit points right now. Death Knight going to make short work, leading the army going up against this particular Voodoo Lounge here. Voodoo Lounge will, once the Voodoo Lounge is gone, it does remove some of that home field advantage for the Orc, as we see a quick Impale go down across here. Death Coil Frost Nova. Tauren Chieftain in a little bit of trouble, trying to make it all the way to the back here. Wanda, Mana Stealing. Tauren Chieftain does have a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Going to go ahead and come in with a big stomp once more. Tauren Chieftain, however, that Potion of Invulnerability would not last forever, as it could be in trouble over here. Down to 382 hit points. Are we going to see a Frost Nova there? There's another Wanda, Mana Stealing. There is another stomp, keeping him alive. Death Knight trying to go after that unit, as the Tauren Chieftain down to 158 hit points. Death Knight now trying to back away here. The stuns are pretty much coming to an end. You cannot afford to try and stun with that Tauren Chieftain any longer, sacrificing your level 4 level 4 Tauren Chieftain. And Potion of Invulnerability was on the Death Knight. Chain Lightning was just finishing it off before the Potion of Invulnerability could be used. And what is this? Two very low hit point units trying to retreat back here. There goes another Obsidian Statue, and TBCBM with those early victories now in trouble against Fly, as Fly takes the advantage here. Tauren Chieftain down to 65 hit points, playing Run Around and Not Die. Lives up to his name with all of those survivability items, the additional armor, the Devotion Aura, the Belt of Giant Strength. Was able to stick around long enough. Crypt Lord sitting at level 2. Death Knight getting resurrected the old-fashioned way. 49 supply versus 35. And what is Fly going to hope to do for this next fight? That is the question. He has the army size advantage. He's not going to be trying to go into low upkeep. He doesn't want to give gold advantage back to his opponent. So he is buying a good number of items going into that next battle. Soon it will be plus 5 strength and agility. Oh yeah, the helms and all of those. Remember that one game you cast where the game, I think it had like thorn. I think it was missing thorns or that one game. I've cast over like 4,000 games, so it was saying that one game. Difficult to remember all of the games that I've cast. Raider is going to be getting ready to engage here. Death Knight not yet back out onto the field. well, we are seeing a quick death onto that Raider. It gets taken down. Lich is in that back line. We're going to be seeing some repairs as well. The Raiders, Acolytes are there, able to easily repair once more. And is this a little bit of an overcommitment by Fly, fighting on the Undead Blight? That is rather questionable without any sort of range units here. Tauren Chieftain is in that frontline spot. Death Knight will be making its rounds out here. A quick impale across multiple units as grunts are taken down. Death Knight now back out, and this could be a problem. Death Knight does come in with a stomp right there. Forest Troll Berserker is actually in position to try and, well, block that Tauren Chieftain as it finally is able to escape away. A little bit of damage absorbed once more. Headhunter down to 193 hit points. Death Knight could get a Death Coil, finish it off just for good measure as the Spirit Wolf gets in a little bit of damage again. All right, Death Knight wandering around here. We're still missing a Thorns Aura item, right? Yeah, there's nothing that grants Thorns Aura. I don't know if they actually built that in, I would appreciate it, but then at the same time I would be like, there's so many other things I want in the game. I'm adding in a Thorns Aura. Actually, no, there is Thorns. There is Thorns Aura, right? Yeah. I thought there was. I don't know. I'm getting all confused now. It's been a long time. Death Knight, Unholy Aura units getting into position. Tauren Chieftain with level 2 Endurance Aura, and we all know how powerful that Tauren Chieftain gets once it gets up to level 3. Level 3 Stomp gets a very, very major big increase and boost overall. Tauren Chieftain losing a little bit of hit points there. Did he give the helm to someone else? No, did not give the helm. He sold it for... He does have the Devotion Aura. He is still rather strong with 1150 hit points and topped. Meanwhile, we are seeing Fly setting, or has set up his expansion here, and he has the economic advantage. TBC BM. What is he going to do to try and follow up this play? That is the question right now. As well, yeah, that's what we need to see. We are looking at triple Obsidian statues, Crypt Fiends. I don't see any Abominations. We're going into quad Obsidian statues, and that usually means that, well, Destroyers are going to be joining in on the battlefield here in just a second. We do have fortified armors on the Watchtower, meaning that it will be difficult to take down those buildings later on. All right. Wind Rider coming back across here. We see a level up, or hear a level up on that Farseer. Farseer now sitting at level 5 with level 3 Spirit Wolves. They are going to be invisible, difficult to spot, and deal lots and lots of damage. 21 to 22, pretty consistent, but can also Shadow Strike as well, or Critical Strike as well. We are so far looking at triple Obsidian statues. Fly trying to figure out what TBCBM's strategy is going to be here. And TBCBM really needs to get into that mid-60s range in order to really have any real advantage. All right, we do have mana on that Destroyer. It is dropping very, very quickly, trying to absorb all of that mana once more. And this is a Destroyer timing push right here. And we are seeing, well, 4 Destroyers with mana. Is it going to be able to deal a lot of damage? And what Fly can really do is just hope to try and delay this attack, as the Destroyers are so anti-magic, their mana is actually dropping. All right, no one Obsidian statue. That is it. We're going to be going into a little bit of damage right there, and a little bit of that bonus damage coming down across Death Coil, Frost Nova, or a little, not even just a Frost Nova right there, as damage is getting added in. Destroyers are all in position. There's a lot of damage coming back across. We're going to looking at a Kodo Beast get taken down. Destroyers are trying to fight their way through. Web Stomp coming in. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 4. Chain Lightning bouncing back around. Cryptlord down to 450 hit points. We should be looking at another Impale relatively soon. There is a Stomp. There's an Impale. So many units just constantly stunned, trying to fight their way out. 55 supply compared to 62. Chain Lightning bouncing around, finishing off some more units as well. Are we going to see some more, more units taken down as a triple stun going down onto those Crypt Fiends in the back? A Chain Lightning could finish off more units as well. 55 supply compared to 39, but it looks like Fly is going to be able to hold this, as a couple of Shadow Wolves are going to be able to finish off some Crypt Fiends off to the side, taking them both down as well. Follow-up Stomp. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 5. Chain Lightning still bouncing through. Tauren Chieftain could try to get a Potion of Mana, getting stopped by his own units once more. Scroll of Speed. as the Tauren Chieftain perhaps going to try and pick off some other units there. 25 supply compared to 39. Both sides losing a lot. Tauren Chieftain getting up to level 5. Death Knight also getting up to level 5 right there. But that timing and the investment of TBCBM's entire army of destroyers and with that timing attack just did not work. Fly is in a great spot now. He is mining up on 2 bases. He knows that he doesn't really need a venture forth, as the main bases are nearly mined out. Only about 90 seconds left, or a little bit less than 2 minutes left off over here. So with that said, what are TBCBM's options? If he tries to set up an expansion right now, Fly's army is just going to be far too large with that economic advantage that he established earlier. It's going to take quite a bit of time to even set up that base here, and there are Spirit Wolves scouting it out. Fly knows what he's doing here. He's sitting on 1,200 gold, and he's just going to wait until he's going to be able to start training up units from all of his production buildings and get into, well, that low supply, or triple bestiaries, and being able to get into that low 60s rather quickly. And he's just waiting to get enough gold for it to really make sense. Destroyers heading into the skies again. We'll see how all of this goes down here. Getting up to 1,600 gold. The main gold mine is about to, well, is going to be done mining here in just a moment, as the armies are now making their way over Acolyte, looking to set up this expansion now. All right, Spirit Wolves are there. They're not going to be able to disrupt all that much. 63 supply over 80. Once these round of units are all trained up, I believe there is going to be an engagement and a battle ready to go in just a moment. There was the Spirit Wolves able to actually cancel that gold mine right there. As you can see, the Acolyte trying to retreat back, not going to have a very good time at all. All right, are we going to get some Devour Magic? Death Coil saving that Shadow Wolf right there. There's a Destroyer overhead, and, well, just making sure that his opponent is not mining at all. 77 supply over 80. This was the perfect timing. This is exactly what, well, Fly wants. These Wind Riders will be joining him on the battlefield, and then he will be moving on out. This is a lot of Wind Riders. He's going for, what is that, 9 Wind Riders, and that damage is going to be rather high and important here. Tauren Chieftain going to be stomping down onto those Crypt Fiends. And Fly is basically playing this game knowing that well, his opponent needs to try and engage him, and his opponent, however, is just simply too scared, rightfully so, knowing that if he tries to engage him, he's going to lose outright. It is now a 77 supply versus 48. The longer this game goes, the better it is for Fly, but at some point, he will want to try and engage here, and that's what we're simply just waiting for. TBCBM, if he tried to engage earlier, well, he would not have had a large enough army to actually do anything and trade efficiently. Now that he's engaging his opponent, he does have a large enough army, but his opponent has an even larger army indeed. Destroyers going after this Watchtower, trying to finish it off. Scroll of Speed, Wind Rider's going to try and engage. There goes a couple of webs coming down. Are we going to see the Tauren Chieftain try and line up a stomp onto those back line here? And you can see that Tauren Chieftain just diving way too far and finally catching pretty much the entire ground undead army. Wind Riders massively fighting us away. Crypt Lord unable to impale those Wind Riders. Surprised that we don't see, well, there's the Scroll of Healing that I was expecting to see. Tauren Chieftain having another Scroll of Healing as well. Going to be able to keep up or keep alive all of these units, as well as we're going to see finally some Wind Riders. No, another Scroll of Healing being used. Wind Riders are going to be able to focus down those Destroyers rather fast, and that is the game right there. Fly just taking his time in that last battle after getting to level 6 on both his Farseer and Tauren Chieftain. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.